All right, 35-0 Ohio State over Grambling State first half. Yet again, Julian Sayans showing his potential, but also his inexperience. Of course, had the 4 touchdowns, but also had the 1 interception, which was end up being a pick in the end zone. So Ohio State really should be up like 42-0 right now. But that's not how you play football. You gotta capitalize on that stuff. So, just that little thing from saying he's gotta have that. Ignore the mess behind me, by the way. Yeah, just ignore all of that. But yeah, he's got to get better at that. Also, as I'm watching highlights right now, Penn State struggles with FIU. Weird. Like the scoreboard doesn't really say that they struggled, but watching the game, it was weird. Aller did not have a good game, especially in the first half, which was weird. OU Michigan should be a good game later tonight. Really rooting for Oklahoma to get that win in Norman. But we will definitely see what happens there. Illinois struggling with Duke. Now maybe Duke is a good team again. We'll see. But Illinois, elite teams don't struggle with Duke, unless you don't believe me, ask Clemson the year that they lost to Duke. But yeah, it's just elite. Illinois is not the number 11 team in the country. I don't think anyone is saying that anymore. I think they probably drop after this week. Indiana, being Indiana, no one really is paying attention to Indiana until they, have those games that actually matter and not Kennesaw State over here. But defense looks really good. My one thing I would probably say run defense. I've said it in the Texas game. Run defense is going to be an issue for us. I think it's another 2021 type run defense where we could be really good, but against the dominant teams that do run the ball well, I think we're going to struggle with that. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I would say our run defense and our goal line offense. That's got to be stuff that has to get cleaned up. Yet again, just time, and I think it was 2 possessions now that Ohio State has struggled to score on the goal line. One turned into an interception, the other one, yet again, another 3rd and goal. We shouldn't really be at 3rd and goal against Grambling State. I don't know. Weird thing for me. I'm nitpicking, obviously. We're dominating Grambling State. Pat's defense looked awesome. Caleb Downs looks like one of the best defenders in all of college football right now. Minnesota also weird. I don't think we play Minnesota this year. Maybe we do. I don't know. But they're dominating their team. 35-0. Jeremiah Smith looks like the Jeremiah Smith from old. Carnell Tate looks awesome right now. So we will definitely see that. Carnell Tate and Julian Sayans look like they have a chemistry that like Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith had last year. It's that well developed, I guess you could say. But yeah, really nothing we're really gonna learn from this game today. Just a little nitpicky stuff. No sacks, I believe, in the game allowed by the offensive line, which is a good thing. This offensive line needs to stay healthy, which was a thing that they couldn't do last year, which probably ended up costing us the Michigan game, honestly. And maybe even the Oregon game if you want to go that far, because, anyways. Ohio State's offensive line needs to stay healthy. Defensive line needs to stay healthy. I know we had a few injuries pop up last week. I think it was Edric Houston, I think. But yeah, just not really a lot to talk about in this game, honestly. Ohio State dominating like we all thought they would. No one's gotten hurt yet so far. No one's made amazing plays apart from the wide receivers, but it's Grambling State. No one really is paying attention to that. But yeah, we'll see. Kind of a boring week in college football, honestly. I think it was week 2 last year that this was also a boring week where like nobody. No, that was it might have been week 3, but like Ohio State had a bye and like there was no good games on, so I think game day went to like a HBCU or whatever game that week. Anyways, yeah, Sayin looks good. It definitely right now before that interception, I'm like he is on track to be a CJ Stroud type level first year starter. But that interception did happen, and those are throws that, the greats like CJ Stroud and, that's a JT Barrett type throw, honestly. Just not something that you really want. But yet again, nitpicking a lot of stuff here. Defense looks amazing. My only worry about that is this could very well be the thing that holds Ohio State back in these close games, is this overcomplicated thing. It works really well. When it works, it works. Last week against Texas, that was a definite work. What happens if it doesn't work? That's my thing. Worst case scenario, let's say a defense or an offense picks up on the defensive schemes. What then? Last year, Ohio State, the whole thing was the stunts and twists and getting to the quarterback. Well, when Ohio State couldn't get to the quarterback, Michigan game, they lose. When you couldn't get to the quarterback, the first Oregon game, you lose. So what happened? What's the plan B is what I'm getting to here. What's Ohio State's plan B on defense, where if someone comes up with a stop, like the screen plays that Grambling State was running for a little bit there was having some success. So how does Ohio State kind of counter the counter almost? Still the number 1 team in the country. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Penn State might even go down a slot there after their performance this week. But a definite success so far. No one's gotten injured. Ohio State is running away with it, and they probably put in Keenholz and St. Clair in the third and fourth quarters. Sayin might see another drive, depending on if Ohio State scores or not. But yeah, they'll probably, next few drives or so, they'll probably put the backups in, get out of there, and just, on to next week against Ohio, which will be fun. It's probably the same type of game that we're going to have anyways. But 35-0 Ohio State. I will be back for postgame.